How you feeling, man?
I am spectacular.
The Cubs took it last night, man.
World Series champs.
Dude.
2016. It only took us 108 years.
So if you haven't watched this before, this man's name is Chubs, and he's from Chicago.
Hey.
He is Chicago Chubs. Chubs, Cubs. Chicago Chubs, Cubs, Chubs, Cubs, Chubs, Cubs, Chubs, Cubs.
Oh wait, I'm Chicago Chubs.
Yeah, can you say that a whole bunch of times fast? It gets pretty hard. Chubs, Cubs, Chubs, Cubs, Chubs, Cubs, Chubs, Cubs, Chubs, Cubs. Hey, I got it.
You nailed it.
You're not
Good
going to
job.
try,
I'm
are
not
you?
gonna try.
Okay. Well, in light of this event, it kind of seems to me that you'd like to take a dramatic moment to yourself and talk about what this means to you, because you've been waiting for a while.
I have.
Would you like to do that?
I would. Okay, I'll talk. Okay. Let's do this.
You can have your moment.
The Chicago Cubs, 2016 World Series champions. I'm thinking back to a time, it almost seems like it was 1987, 1988, because it was. Moved to Chicago with my family. I was 6 turning 7. My father took me to my first Chicago Cubs baseball game at Wrigley Field. Little did I know, it was one of the most historic ballparks in history. And also little did I know that the Cubs were terrible. They sucked. It was 1908 since the last time they won a World Series. 1948 since the last time they even appeared. But I couldn't help falling in love with the Chicago Cubs. It was like a dog and a little boy. They had a bond. I had that bond. Fast forward, 1999. I'm a senior in high school, and my love for the Cubs couldn't be stronger. For my graduation present, I got a customized Chicago Cubs baseball jersey from my parents. A prized possession I still have to this day, waiting to pass it down to my son, who I named after Wrigley Field. No, his name's not Wrigley Field, but his name is Wrigley. I had the joyous occasion, the opportunity, no, the pleasure of watching the Chicago Cubs become victorious in the World Series this year. That's right, 2016. I was at my in-laws. I had just wolfed down about 8, let's call it 10 tacos. They were delicious, homemade tacos. I had my whole family there. It was great. It was something I've always dreamed of. As a little boy, playing baseball, hundreds of games at the Sandlot. I always came down to the bottom of the 9th. 2 outs. Who's up to the plate? Ryan Sandberg. Cubs great. Ryan Sandberg never saw a ring, never got a championship, but we finally did it, boys. 108 years later, 2016 World Series champ. Okay, put it off. Can't do it.
Good one, dude.
Thanks.
Chubs, Cubs. I got a little story. You want to hear my story?
I
got kind of a surprise for you, which is kind of cool and kind of sucks at the same time.
Okay.
Okay. So, well, you are Chicago Chubs, and it's a pretty cool little acronym thing, and it sounds a lot like Chicago Chubs if you hadn't picked up on that. It's not an acronym at all. I know how to talk. So, I had a little logo made for you, dude, that looks just like the Chicago Cubs, but it says Chubs in it.
Oh, dude.
And I even threw it up on a t-shirt shop, which is going to be our future store for the show. And the website took it down within like 10 minutes for infringement on Cubs rights. And so then I was like, this stinks. I want to use Chicago Chubs, and I want to use it on the show. I want you to have your own t-shirt that says Chubs.
And I want to get it tattooed.
And he wants to get it tattooed. And so I thought, well, how do you do that? I got my little fat fingers into the system, and I ended up reaching the main lawyer of the Major League Baseball League.
No, you got it right, dude. I'm impressed.
MLB, Major Baseball League. Anyway, the lawyer of the whole thing. He's not just the lawyer for Cubs. He's the lawyer for the whole deal. So I wrote an email, and they responded quick. He's like, call me. And I didn't right away. And I recorded the entire phone call. Clark over here is telling me that if I actually play some of the actual recording that this lawyer is going to sue me, He kind of sounded like the kind of guy that would sue me.
Most lawyers do,
So
right?
I'm gonna give you a recap of the conversation.
Okay.
I say, yes, we have a YouTube show. I want to use this logo. This guy's name is Chubs, Chicago Chubs. It's pretty cool. I'd like to use that. And he says, no, you're infringing on our rights. I can't give you permission. And even if I could give you permission, I'm not going to give you permission. Wait a minute. No, I don't give you permission. It was like, no. And then at the very, very end, he says, well, I guess maybe. But his maybe was saying that maybe we could use it.
You must be a dad.
Yeah.
Because...
Yeah. Maybe we could use it on the show. Maybe you could wear the t-shirt. But if it confused consumers and they were like, wait, did the Chicago Chubs... No, oh, wow. I can't guarantee that you're not going to be infringing on my booty.
Well, he's got a point. I was thinking about moving back to Chicago and starting up a professional baseball team called the Chicago Chubs.
So this is the question right now that we need to ask ourselves. Do we test Mr. MLB Lawyer Man and display this logo right now on this video, like go like this, and show it to the world and see if they think it's infringing on their rights? Clark says yes. Chubb says yes. Okay, here it is. Chicago Chubs.
For the record, we are in no way, shape, or form skinny or
what?
Or
because Chubs
part of the Chicago Cubs organization. So do not confuse this with the Chicago Cubs branding. This is a made-up logo.
Yeah, I can tell you how we're not going to confuse the market. Market, don't be confused. This is not from the Cubs. We made it. Did we infringe on your rights? I don't know. You said maybe.
Do you feel infringed?
So maybe. Maybe he's infringed.
Do you feel infringed, Clark?
I'm going to make you a t-shirt and you can wear it and we'll see what happens.
Awesome.
The other cool thing about old Chicago Chubs here is he bought a Chubs mobile and he's going to deck it out with Fatty and Chubs stuff. Check it out.
It's a cool mobile.
I think it's pretty rad.
It's a blank canvas, if you will.
The one time I took a drive in it, I didn't feel super safe because, like seat belts and airbags and, none of that stuff.
It is a 66. I don't even think they had seat belts back. It does, but I don't think they did have them.
Yeah. Good thing
But don't be confused.
Good thing we're puffy, because if you get in an accident, we'll just bounce around in there and it'll be like Jello
When we're
cups.
both in that car, we're not going anywhere, dude. The thing could roll and we'd be like,
we'll be safe.
Just fine.
Yep. Dude, you're awesome. Chicago Chubs. And your Cubs won. It's a good day. Way to go, guys. Way to go, Bill Murray.
Yeah,
One question I like to ask myself every couple of months is, what would Bill Murray do? Party on. Way to go. You got anything else?
No.
Okay.